The Z Suite. Tell us some about this show. I am so excited to hear.
Well, okay, so the Z Suite is about this creative dynamic duo, Monica Marks, played by Lauren Graham, and Doug Garcia, played by me. And we create an ad campaign that gets us canceled. And so we get replaced by the Gen Z employees at the firm. And the series is about us trying to sort of rekindle our um reputations and make sure that we're back on top and try to get our jobs back. And with all that conflict, hilarity ensues.
Yes, and not only Lauren Graham's character, but she's like a powerhouse in the industry. She has tons and tons of experience, and she's like this untouchable woman, and she does this one thing, and it's not exactly correct. And I think that's a lot of people's fear who have been in industries for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing with I guess the way cancel culture works, right? But I think our series does a great job of sort of like you poking fun at that, and really because if you look at of what Doug and Monica did, it was yes, it was tone deaf, but I don't think it really warranted being fired. But that kind of stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, it really does. Now, I'm a millennial. I have to ask you, what was it like working with Lauren Graham? Because Lorelai Gilmore for life right here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna ask me like what was like working with Gen Z. I was like, I had to learn a lot of different terms that I didn't know. Well, again, like you said, Lauren is iconic. I actually never saw Gilmore Girls. I was a Parenthood fan. I know people are like, "Ah!" I was a Parenthood fan, so I loved her in that. Um, but I was really excited to work with her because we have some mutual friends, and again, because she's so like such a legend, I was like, like really looking forward to being on set with her. And we got along so well. It was, she's so sweet and so generous as a scene partner, and just like super professional that I think that chemistry shows on camera as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say she's a legend in and of her own right. And I think she was perfectly cast, but I think you were perfectly cast too. I think you were born to play this part, and you've had a lot of really good roles, a lot of really successful roles, but you were born to play this part.
Thank you. I love Doug so much. He's just unhinged and ridiculous. And, I mean, sometimes I have to pinch myself. It's like, this is how I pay my bills, is by being an idiot on screen. It's the best job you could ever have.
I would love to ask you now about what it was like with bridging the Gen Z gap, because even as someone who's a millennial, I'm not that far from them, but sometimes I feel like the chasm is so deep. So, what was it like for you?
I mean, exactly that. It's funny because I remember, when I was their age, sort of having the same conversations with my elders, being and having to hear them incessantly say, when I was your age, this is how things were done. And now I have become that person. I've been like totally on set being like, we didn't have the internet when I was growing up. We had to use encyclopedias, you know. And then we had dial-up, which take you like 30 minutes to download something. Yeah, I had to catch myself and be like, okay, you're being that person. But they taught me a lot of things too. Like, I now know who SZA is, and I know what Riz means. So it's a two-way street. We both learn from each other.
Oh my gosh, I feel that too. I'm always trying to catch up with like the new phrases, and then I'm trying to say it correctly, like cap, no cap.
Yeah, no
Like,
cap.
yeah,
Yeah, still figuring that one out.
I know. I'm like, is the toothpaste bottle, like, do we not have a cap on that?
Your Snapple or something?
Literally, literally. Well, I know that the two generations clash for a while in the show, but I'm hoping that we can see eventually they'll get to the point where they have respect and admiration for what the other one does best. Can we expect some of that?
Absolutely. And I think our show does a really good job of showing that we have a lot more in common than we do differences. And it's really interesting to sort of show that dynamic, especially between the queer characters, because you rarely see sort of exploring the generational differences between older LGBT folks and the younger ones, because they live in very, very different worlds. And I'm really proud of the work we've done in showing that.
I also have to ask you about the fact that this is Tubi's first original comedy. You're the first. You're
I
here. How does it
know.
feel?
Feels great. I mean, listen, I mean, it was a perfect partnership. Tubi's this amazing streaming service that's been doing really well. I mean, they're bringing it, killing it in the game, and just growing and growing by the second. And to be sort of like their first foray into scripted programming, we feel very, very special that they chose this project. And hopefully we get to do a lot more because we would love a season two. Hint, hint, Tubi. We'd love a season two.
Okay, before I let you go, you kind of did one before, but I would love your best Gen Z saying that you learned while filming this show.
Oh my gosh. Uh, something, something. Yeah, bet. I don't bet. What is bet is like for sure, right?
I
I
don't
don't.
know.
Yeah, there was like "Ha, la, la, blah 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 bet. I'm like, are we gambling? What's happening?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, I
I've
understand.
I've heard that one too, and I'm like, don't know. That and cap, those ones confuse me. No
No
cap.
cap, bet, skibbity.
Yeah. Or
What is?
like when something's really good, when you're like, oh, that ate or that shoved, it's like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, chugged. I've never heard chugged.
Shoved.
Shoved? What?
Yeah, like that really shoved. That meal was so good, it really shoved.
I can't keep up, honey.
We just got to keep doing the best we can.
Exactly. I'm just gonna make up stuff.
I know. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.